Hello guys, welcome back to Aditya Financial Insight in ISM series 15 रिसर्च एनालिस्ट बॉक्स में आपका स्वागत है गाइस। तो आज हम चैप्टर 3 से शुरुआत करेंगे जिसमें कि टर्मिनोलॉजी इन इक्विटी एंड डेट मार्केट में। तो इसको पढ़ने के बाद आप क्या क्या सीख सकते हैं, जिसमें कि टर्मिनोलॉजी यूज इन इक्विटी मार्केट, टर्मिनोलॉजी यूज इन डेट मार्केट एंड डिफरेंट टाइप्स ऑफ बॉन्ड्स एंड देयर फीचर्स, उनके बारे में पढ़ेंगे गाइस। तो शुरुआत करते हैं। सबसे पहले security market enable investors to deploy their surplus fund in investment instruments that are pre-defined for their future issue under regulatory supervision and in most cases liquid in the secondary market. There are two broad types of security that are issued by the seekers of capital from investors: equity and debt. When a business needs capital to fund its operation and expansion, it make a choice between these two types of security. Equity capital is available for the company to use long as is needed. Debt capital will have to be returned after the specific time. Equity investors do not enjoy any fixed return or return for principal invested. Debt investors earn a fixed rate of interest and return of principal at maturity. Equity investors are owner of the business. Debt investors are lender to their business. Equity investor participates in management of a business. Debt investors do not residual profit of the business. Belong to the equity investor. Debt investor claim is restricted to the periodic fees, coupon and principal repayment on maturity. Due to these fundamental differences in equity and debt security, they are seen as two distinct asset classes between which investors make a choice. Equity represents a risky, long-term growth-oriented investment that can show a highly volatility in performance depending on how the underlying business is performing. There is no assurance of return to equity investor since the value of the investment is bound to fluctuate. Debt represents a relatively low-risk, steady income-oriented investment. It generates a steady rate of return provided the business remains profitable and does not default on its payment. Since all residual benefit of deploying capital in a profitable business go to the equity investor, the return to equity investor is likely to be higher than that of the debt investor. For example, if a business borrows funds at 12% and is able to earn return 14% on the asset created by such borrowing, debt investor receive only 12% as a promise, but these excess 2% earned by the asset benefit equity investor. The downside also hurt the equity investor who may not earn anything if the return is lower than the borrowing cost. If the business is falling, choosing between equity and debt is a trade-off. Investors desiring low risk and willing to accept a lower stable return choose debt. If they seek a higher return, they may not be able to learn it without taking on an additional risk of the equity investment. Most investors tend to allocate their capital between these two choices, depending on their expected return, their investing time period, and their risk appetite and their needs. This chapter captures the feature of equity debt instrument along with other instruments which borrow feature both from equity and debt. Terminology in equity market. Face value क्या है? Face value nominal price of the share known as a face value. The equity capital of the company is calculated by multiplying the number of shares issued by the face value. For example, in a company has issued 1 lakh share with the face value 10 rupee. Then the equity capital of company worth would be 10 lakh. 1 lakh into 10. Share may be issued to the investor at a face value and price higher premium than the face value. The price lower discount than the face value. तो गाइस डिस्काउंट कब होता है? जब फेस वैल्यू से आपको कम मिलता है। अगर प्रीमियम हायर प्राइस में मिलता है फेस वैल्यू से तो प्रीमियम होता है। तो देखिए प्रीमियम एंड डिस्काउंट में ये हम फेस वैल्यू से पता करते हैं। The face value of the company shares does not usually change unless the company decided to split or consolidate its share. In such a case, face value of the company share would reduce in case of the split or increase in case of consolidation. For example, if an investor holds one share and its face value 10 and the company decided to split one share into 5, then the new face value of the share would be 2 rupees and investor would be 5 such share. तो देख सकते हैं गाइस, जब स्प्लिट होता है किसी भी शेयर का तो उसके फेस वैल्यू में डिवाइड कर देते हैं। तो इसे देखते हैं, पहले एक शेयर का फेस वैल्यू 10 रुपया था, अब 5 शेयर का आपको 2 रुपया हो जाएगा। देख सकते हैं किस तरह से फेस वैल्यू इंपॉर्टेंट होता है मार्केट में। फेस वैल्यू ऑफ द शेयर इज इम्पोर्टेंट ऑफ कैलकुलेटिंग द डिविडेंड payable on the share. When the dividend is mentioned as a percentage, that percentage is reckoned with regarded to face value. For example, if a company with face value 10 rupees declare 30% dividend, it means dividend is 3 रुपया पर शेयर। देख सकते हैं गाइस, फेस वैल्यू का ही आपका डिविडेंड भी दिया जाता है। तो लोगों को लगता है कि 30% डिविडेंड मिलेगा, 40% मिलेगा, तो फेस वैल्यू का ही होता है, ना कि आपके प्राइस मतलब इक्विटी शेयर का प्राइस पर। तो 3 रुपया, however, if the company with face value 2 रुपया declare 30% dividend, it means dividend 60 पैसा पर शेयर। तो देख सकते हैं गाइस फेस वैल्यू का क्या इंपॉर्टेंट होता है। एंड बुक वैल्यू हम देखते हैं। बुक वैल्यू ऑफ द कंपनी इज द नेट वर्थ ऑफ द कंपनी। बुक वैल्यू टोटल नेटवर्क पर डिपेंड करता है गाइस। तो कंप्यूट बुक वैल्यू पर शेयर, नेट वर्थ ऑफ द कंपनी इज डिविडेंड divided by the number of outstanding shares. In simple terms, book value per share means the theoretically amount of money each share would get case of the company was to wind up. On left hand side balance sheet, there are primarily two things: share capital and debt. The assets of the company are listed in the balance sheet at its book value. Cost less depreciation. The realized value of the asset may be different from book value and is never known with the certainty. If it assumes that each asset on the balance sheet may be converted into cash at book value, then after fully honoring the business liabilities, cash equivalent to net worth equity plus reserve would be left for shareholders. The ability of the company to meet its liability would depend upon the realizable value of its asset. Mark value क्या है guys? Mark value. This is the mark price of the share. Market value of the entire equity of the company is termed as the market capitalization and is computed as mark price per share multiplied by the total number of outstanding shares. The market value of the share depends upon the host of factors like the expected performance of the company, market sentiment and liquidity among others. तो मार्क वैल्यू क्या का डिपेंड पर फैक्टर करता है? परफॉर्मेंस ऑफ द कंपनी, मार्केट सेंटीमेंट एंड लिक्विडिटी पर। रिप्लेसमेंट वैल्यू क्या है? दिस इज रिप्लेसमेंट वैल्यू, दिस रिफर्स टू द मार्केट वैल्यू ऑफ ऑल एसेट ऑफ a company at any point of time. If a new company were to set up with all their infrastructure plant which are already existing company has, then the cost which it would have to bear today is known as the replacement value of the existing firm. इंट्रेंसिक वैल्यू, इंट्रेंसिक वैल्यू का बहुत इंपॉर्टेंट रोल होता है। इंट्रेंसिक वैल्यू ऑफ द एसेट इज अ प्रेजेंट वैल्यू ऑफ एक्सपेक्टेड फ्री कैश फ्लो फ्रॉम द एसेट। Warren Buffett defines intrinsic value as it is a discounted value of the cash that can be taken out of the business during its remaining life. In a simple term, the intrinsic value of the equity share is the discounted value of the future benefit of the investor. Investing in equity is about estimating this intrinsic value and paying a price today to earn future value. तो देख सकते हैं गाइस, इंट्रिंसिक वैल्यू में आप पे करते हैं और कमाते हैं आप फ्यूचर वैल्यू में। मार्केट वैल्यू है इंट्रिंसिक वैल्यू में क्या अंतर है? इन इक्विटी इन्वेस्टिंग देयरफॉर देयर आर टू डिस्टिंक्ट नोटेशन of value and price. Intrinsic value is the estimated value per equity share based on the future earning potential of a company. Market price is the price at which the share trade in the stock market, taking into account several factors including various estimated intrinsic value. Intrinsic value may be equal to less than or more than the market price at any time of the money. तो गाइस इंट्रिंसिक वैल्यू होता है जो कि वेरी करता है, वो मार्केट प्राइस से कम भी हो सकता है, ज़्यादा भी हो सकता है, वो डिपेंड करता है कि ग्रोथ कैसा है। तो गाइस देख सकते हैं, if the intrinsic value is perceived to be more than the market value, the script is said to be undervalued। तो गाइस देख सकते हैं, if the intrinsic value मार्केट वैल्यू से ज़्यादा है तो उसको हम अंडर वैल्यू कहते हैं। इफ द इंट्रिंसिक वैल्यू इज परसीव लेस देन द मार्केट वैल्यू देन द स्क्रैप इज सेड टू ओवर वैल्यू। जब इंट्रिंसिक वैल्यू मार्केट से कम होता है तो वो ओवर वैल्यूड में जाता है। तो देख सकते हैं यहाँ पर दो चीज़ सीखने को मिला, तो ये आपका इम्पोर्टेंट होगा। द गोल ऑफ इन्वेस्टमेंट स्ट्रेटजी टू बाई अंडर वैल्यू शेयर। तो अंडर वैल्यू को आप खरीदने के लिए स्ट्रेटजी बनाते हैं, जबकि ओवर वैल्यू को आप सेल करने के लिए बनाते हैं। एंड सेल ओवर वैल्यू वंस बट इट रिमेन्स टफ टू मेक्स दिस इवैल्यूएशन करेक्टली एंड कंसिस्टेंटली as what is doing price is known as future of the company. Equity investing requires identifying exploiting inefficiency is not amenable to mathematical formulation. Qualitative factors that assess future potential of the company based on factors such as quality of management, marketing strategy, financing capability, such make equity investing an art as well as a science. A stock market where these estimates are made acted upon through buying and selling of the equity share feature a social ecosystem of a complex human behavior. Investment decisions are influenced by behavior and cognitive limited of individual acting in a group. Market capitalization. Market capitalization क्या है? Market capitalization is that amount of money required to buy out an entire company at its current market price. It is computed as a market price per share of the company multiplied by the total number of outstanding shares. तो गाइस मार्केट प्राइस जो भी होता है किसी भी शेयर का और टोटल नंबर ऑफ आउटस्टैंडिंग शेयर्स आप ऑपरेशन कर देते हो, टोटल मार्केट कैपिटलाइजेशन हो गया। फॉर एग्जांपल एक कंपनी है इशू 1 लाख शेयर एंड करंटली ट्रेड 20 रुपीज, करेंट मार्केट would have market 20 lakh. With the change in equity price, market capitalization of the company change continuously. Trade stocks are often categorized by the market cap. Blue chip stocks represent largest company by the market cap. Given the large size of the market cap, they attract large set of investors, both retailer and institutional, enjoy high level of liquidity. These are also called large cap stocks. Mid cap. Mid cap में are those company which enjoy good level of liquidity but are medium in the term of market cap. A small cap stocks are those stocks are a smaller size and therefore do not enjoy much liquidity. स्मॉल कैप में गाइस लिक्विडिटी की प्रॉब्लम होती है, इसलिए बोला जाता है कि जब भी आप ट्रेड करते हैं फ्यूचर एंड ऑप्शन तो ब्लू चिप कंपनी में करें या मिड चिप कंपनी में करें। देयर इज नो स्पेसिफिक साइज फॉर द कट ऑफ लार्ज एंड मिड एंड स्मॉल कैप stocks. It is therefore common to consider top 50 and 100 stock by the market capitalization as a large cap, then next 200 to 500 stocks as a mid cap and remaining all are small cap. तो गाइस इसमें कोई कट ऑफ नहीं होता जिसमें कि पहला 50 से 100 कंपनी आपको लार्ज कैप में बोला जा सकता है, वहीं नेक्स्ट 200 से 500 के बीच मिड कैप और जो भी 500 के ऊपर होता है वो स्मॉल कैप में जो भी बचा। Market cap is also used as an indicator of size, importance of the stock market of a country. The ratio of market cap to GDP country is relevantly measure of the purpose. Entire enterprise value. Enterprise value क्या है? Enterprise value EV refers to the overall value of the business. Since the business is funded by the various source of capital, it is computed as the sum of the value of the total capital employed in the business. Thus, EV is defined as mathematical as follow. Enterprise value क्या है? Value of the company equity plus value of the non-controlling interest, value of the preferred capital plus debt minus cash equivalent है financial investment. तो ऑल ऐड करके आप इसमें कैश को कम कर सकते हैं। तो जो भी कैश होता है तो हो गया आपका इंटरप्राइज वैल्यू। अब आ जाते हैं इधर, द वैल्यू ऑफ द इंडिविजुअल कंपोनेंट्स शुड बी based on their fair market value. However, since it is difficult to obtain fair market value for unlisted security, Bank debt analysts may use the balance sheet value as a proxy if the fair market value is not available or if it is not possible to determine the same. Let us understand this concept using the following example. Example क्या है guys? Balance sheet एक्सेप्ट पार्टिकुलर है इन करोड़ में, जैसे कॉमन इक्विटी 12.5 करोड़ का है, प्रेफर्ड कैपिटल 8.5 करोड़ का है गाइस, एंड डेट आउटस्टैंडिंग 6.4 करोड़, कैश एंड इक्विवेलेंट 2.5 करोड़ एंड फाइनेंशियल इन्वेस्टमेंट 1.4 करोड़। तो गाइस ये दोनों को माइनस कर देते हैं ये टोटल में, तो आपका आ जाएगा वैल्यू ईवी मतलब इंटरप्राइज वैल्यू निकल जाएगा। तो देख सकते हैं द कंपनी इक्विटी comprise 10 lakh share with a face value of 10 each. These shares are currently trading 340 rupees per share. The preferred share that are unlisted security shown at the amortized cost, financial investment as shown in fair value. तो देख सकते हैं मार्केट कैपिटलाइजेशन क्या है 340 into 10 lakh तो 34 करोड़ टोटल। Since the fair value of the company is unknown, we take the balance sheet value as a fair value. Thus, this is right, जिस आपको मैंने बोला लास्ट में EV हो गया आपका फेयर वैल्यू, ई वैल्यू जैसे देख सकते हैं थोड़ा जोड़ के आपको इतना माइनस कर देना है, टोटल हो गया 45 करोड़। Earning and historical training forward क्या है? Earning are profit in a business. Earning can be defined at various levels. For example, net profit are the profit available to the equity owners. Earning before interest, tax, EBITDA are available to serve both equity and debt holders. Earning before interest, tax, depreciation and amortization, EBITDA, depreciation and EBITDA हो गया। Earning before tax, interest and tax हो गया एंड EBITDA हो गया, EBITDA हो गया। Earning before interest and tax, depreciation and amortization is a earning available to business to replace its asset over a period of time to serve both equity and debt holder. Earning of previous year are collected historical earning. Trailing earning refers to the earning of the latest 4 quarter calculated on the rolling basis. Earning computed based on the future projection are called forward earning. Earning per share क्या है? EPS. Net profit of the company belong to the shareholder. Earning per share is the net profit divided by the number of shares. It indicates the amount of profit that company has earned for every share it has issued. EPS is calculated as net profit by number of share outstanding. EPS आपका कैलकुलेशन होता है टोटल प्रॉफिट में आपका नंबर ऑफ शेयर से डिवाइड करके EPS निकलता है अर्निंग पर शेयर। For a company with net profit 10 lakh and outstanding share 2 lakh, EPS would be 5 यानी 10 lakh by 2 lakh 5 रुपया हो गया आपका EPS earning per share. A higher EPS show higher profitability and better earning for the shareholder and will be prepared over share of company with a lower EPS. EPS is a significant variable in determine as a share price. तो गाइस आप जब भी किसी कंपनी में इन्वेस्टमेंट करना चाहते हैं तो EPS जरूर देखें। Dividend per share. Dividend per share क्या DPF? Dividend is generally declared as a percentage of the face value of the share. It's portion of the profit which the company distribute among the shareholder. For example, 40% of dividend declared by the company will translate into dividend 4 rupees per share for the face value 10 into 10 into 40 by 4. This is known as dividend per share. Price to earning ratio. Price to earning ratio क्या है? PE ratio. Price to earning ratio or PE ratio measure the price that make market willing to pay for the earning of a company is computed as market price per share, earning per share. PE is referred as a multiple of per rupees of earning. When one refers to a stock trading at PE multiply of 12x, it means a stock is trading at 12 times its earning. The PE multiply based on the historical earning of the limited value. The price changes dynamically while the reported earning is updated every quarter. Therefore, the price tend to move even after a historical earning per share is known as anticipated of the future earning. If it is expected that the earning of a firm will grow, then the market will be willing to pay higher multiply per rupee of earning. The focus is therefore no on prospective PE, how much the current price is discounting future earning. For example, when the analysts say that a share of XYZ company is trading at 20 times in 2024 earning, but is still about 15 times in 2015 earning, given the state of its order book, what they are saying is that growth EPS likely to be high. Therefore, the current high P based on the historical number may not be right or to look at. More population reports show P using historical yearly number from the latest quarterly report. Analyst estimates of future earnings are not widely available and they may vary some. It's common to look at the P multiply of the index to gauge if the market is overvalued or undervalued. The PE multiply moves high when the run ahead of earning number and the market is willing to pay more and more rupee of the earning. When the market corrects, uncertainty about the future earning increase, PE multiply also drops. A value investor who would like to pick up a stock when they are cheap may be interested to purchase when PE is low. Analysts also compare the PE one company with another to check their relative value. PE multiply of the stable, large, well-known company is likely to be higher than PE multiply the market is willing to pay another smaller, less known as risky company in the same sector. Price to sell ratio. Price to sell ratio क्या है? Price to sales ratio is valuation ratio that measures price investors are willing to pay for each rupee for sale. It calculated as price sale ratio current market price by annual net sale per share. PS ratio market capitalization by annual net sale. Market capitalization by annual net sale इसे भी निकाल सकते हैं और current price by annual net sale per share. For example, company annual net sale 1 crore है outstanding share 10 लाख है तो CMP of the 40 the PS ratio would be देख सकते हैं 1 crore by 10 यानी 10 रुपये होगा तो PS ratio 40 by 10 4 रुपये हो जाएगा तो देख सकते हैं all else held constant a company with a lower PS ratio relatively to its peers indicate that the stock is relatively undervalued. However, the company future potential, its profit potential and the level of the financial and other risk can result in market assigning a premium or discount compare it to peer. A drop in the revenue growth rate will be high risk of the these stocks like all multiple PS ratio. Should be used along with other data and compare with a similar company in an industry before making an investment decision. This ratio is especially useful for the company in industry that are temporarily going through a phase of negative profit loss and earning based multiply would be meaningless in such situation. Price to book value ratio क्या है? Price to book value guys. Price to book value ratio is one of the most widely used ratio to find price relative to the value. The price book value measures company current market price by the its book value. Book value is calculated by the dividing net worth by the company number of the outstanding share. The book value is the accounting value per share in the book of the company. It represents the net worth of the capital per reserve per share. An important limitation of this number that the most assets on the book of the company are shown as their historical cost less depreciation and not their realizable liquidation value. However, in a company which has been building reserve for sustained profitability, book value is an important indicator. तो वह देख सकते हैं book value एक बहुत बड़ा indicator है. Since the book value consider the net worth of the company, it is an important number fundamental analysis. तो वह fundamental analysis के लिए book value बहुत बड़ा important. For example, let's company profit book value of the company. So that's price book value of the company. Equity capital 10 lakh है guys. रिजर्व एंड सरप्लस 50 लाख का है, नंबर ऑफ आउटस्टैंडिंग शेयर 6 लाख का है। तो देख सकते हैं करेंट मार्केट प्राइस 20 रुपये पर शेयर है। तो बुक वैल्यू क्या होगा, नेट वर्थ बाई नंबर ऑफ आउटस्टैंडिंग शेयर। तो टोटल नेट वर्थ देख सकते हैं, जोड़ सकते हैं। तो 10 लाख तो 50 लाख बाई 6 लाख से आप नंबर ऑफ स्टूडेंट देख सकते हैं 10 रुपया हो जाएगा। तो प्रॉफिट बुक वैल्यू क्या आ जाएगा, प्रॉफिट बुक वैल्यू हो जाएगा गाइस सी एम पी बाई बी वी बुक वैल्यू। तो सी एम पी देख सकते हैं करेंट मार्केट प्राइस 20 रुपया है और आपका बुक वैल्यू आपका 10 रुपया है। तो 2x हो गया प्रॉफिट बुक वैल्यू। तो बुक वैल्यू देख सकते हैं टोटल नेटवर्थ बाय टोटल नंबर ऑफ आउटस्टैंडिंग शेयर होगी। तो इस तरह से आप निकाल सकते हैं। And the profit book value ratio of the company would be 2 times. Profit book value less than 1 indicate the company is trading below the book value and hence the stock is deemed to be undervalued. तो देख सकते हैं जब भी बुक वैल्यू लेस देन 1 है तो गाइस बुक वैल्यू स्टॉक डीम्ड टू बी अंडरवैल्यूड में है। अब however it printed to ask why is the market pricing the share at a price less than book value. Please note that there may be severe reason of the stock being available for less than its book value, including poor investment made by the firm in the past, which need to be written down subsequently. Hence, all the company with the book value, profit book value less than 1 may not be valued by investors should not rely on only profit book value for their investment decision. Should understand that not all stocks that trade at a discount on their book value and bargaining undervalued. Profit book value is a useful measure to value stocks where the earnings are negatives and more widely used PE. P ratio is not applicable. It enables comparison across company in the industry and where accounting standards are consistent. It is good measure to value stocks of company such as the banking industry. However, for the sector such as the service industry where the assets are limited, this valuation method may not be relevant. तो गाइस देख सकते हैं प्रॉफिट बुक वैल्यू सर्विस सेक्टर इंडस्ट्री के लिए ये वैल्यूएशन नॉट रिलेवेंट नहीं हो सकता, जबकि बैंक के लिए प्रॉफिट बुक वैल्यू बहुत बड़ा फैक्टर होता है। तो देख सकते हैं ये जानने के बाद आप किसी भी सेक्टर को आप पता कर सकते हैं अच्छे से। तो बैंकिंग का शेयर प्रॉफिट बुक वैल्यू के लिए रिलेवेंट है, जबकि सर्विस इंडस्ट्री के लिए नहीं है। डिफरेंशियल वोटिंग राइट्स, डिफरेंशियल वोटिंग राइट्स क्या गाइस, a DVR is just like a normal share of the company, except that it carry less than one voting rights per share, unlike a common share. Such an instrument is useful for issuers who wish to raise capital without diluting voting rights. Investors who wish to invest only for dividends and capital appreciation are not really bothered about the voting rights. Find these shares attractive. The number of voting rights for a DVR differs from company to company. DVRs typically trade as separate category of the instrument and are available at discount to the common share of the company. The Company Act 2013 defined the eligibility to the company to issue such shares, this including a dividend at least 10% over the preceding 3 years, and such shares shall not exceed 25% of the total post-issue paid the capital of the company. Several companies in India, including Tata Motors, Pantaloons, have issued DVR. तो देख सकते हैं टाटा मोटर्स और पेंटालून्स दोनों जो डीवीआर क्या था, इस बार टाटा मोटर्स का डीवीआर आया था ईवी के लिए। टर्मिनोलॉजी डेप्ट मार्केट, debt capital refers to the capital provided by the lender who are keen to the compensated regularly in the form of pre-specific fee rates of interest. They also expect money they have lent to be returned to them after agreed period of time. Debt can be created by the borrowing from banks and other institutions by issuing debt security. For example, if the company wishes to borrow 100 crore, it has two options. If it takes a bank loan for the total amount, then the bank consortium of the bankers is sole lender to the company. Alternatively, it can access a large pool of investors by breaking up the loan amount into smaller denomination. If it are issues 1 crore debt security, each with a face value 100, then an investor who bring 1000 would receive 10 security. The lending exposure of each investor is limited to the extent of his investment. A debt security denotes contract between the issuer company and the lender investor, which allow the issue to borrow a sum of money at a predetermined terms. These terms are referred to as the feature of the debt security, including the principal, coupon, maturity of the security, and the security if and provided of the lending. All debt security are grant the investor the right to coupon payment and principal repayment as per the debt contract. Some debt security, called secured debt, also give investor right over the asset of the issue company. If there is a default on interest in principal payment, those assets can be sold repay investor. Investors with unsecured debt do not enjoy this option. Their security may be privately placed with a select group of investors offered to public through a public issue of the security. Debt security that are issued in the public issue are mandatorily listed on the stock exchange such as National Stock Exchange, Bombay Stock Exchange, so that they can be traded in the secondary market. Unlisted security have to held until maturity or trade in the over-counter market. Given below are some commonly used terms of the debt instrument. Face value क्या है? Any debt instrument cannot be completely explained without answering how much borrowing it represents, for how long has money been lent, and what is the interest rate on the same. First question is answered by the term face value, which represents how much loan is represented by that particular debt paper. This is a nominal or per face value, per value of the debt paper interest throughout the term of the paper is paid percentage this amount. The face value may be handed to 1000 any other denomination. Coupon rate क्या है? Interest paid on the bond debt security is known as coupon rate, expressed as a percentage of its face value. The actual amount of the money which the investor receives as interest is equal to the product of the face value and the coupon rate. Thus, 8.24 GS 2018 read as 8.2% coupon bearing government security G second maturity in 2018 with a face value 1000 would pay 82.4 as a coupon interest each year till maturity to investor. Government security pay interest semi-annually. So in this case, the investor would get 41.22 यानी 82.4 से बना कर देता है every 6 month हो गया. The last coupon payment will receive on the maturity date along with principal per value. Maturity क्या होता है? Every loan will have a tenure. This is known as tenure and maturity or term to maturity in bond market. In the above mentioned, bond is maturity in the year 2018. Maturity is a very significant parameter for bond investor. I is This is a single largest factor contributing to change in bond price. Market risk in bond investment linked to its bond can be issued for extremely short tenure like T-bill issued by the government of India for 91 and 182 and 642 days for the government security issued for a very long period, even up to 30 years more. Some bond issues are perpetually in nature. The term to maturity keep reducing with the each passing day and finally become zero on the date bonds mature. The bond is redeemed on this date. Principal क्या है? This is the amount of borrowing of the issue represent the security. This is the initial investment which an investor makes when the bond is issued and represent by face value on redemption. The entire principal is returned to the investor. As the bond starts trading in the market, the price at which it is purchased and sold may be different from the state face value, irrespective of this price at which debt security is bought. In the secondary market, the issuer is liable to repay only the principal represent the face value on maturity. Redemption of the bond: when a bond matures, the investor redeems the bond, which essentially means that the contract between the issuer and investor is over. The issuer of the bond repays principal and also makes the final coupon payment, and then the bond gets exit and bond matures. Holding period क्या है भाई? Holding period return. Holding period return is the return earned on the investment during a specific period when it was bought and held to be investors. An investor may purchase the bond from issuer directly when it is issued, or may purchase at any later date from the secondary market. Similarly, the investor may hold the bond till maturity or may exit earlier in between the selling on the secondary market. The return to the investor for the period for which the bond may held is known as HPR, holding per return. Through the period for which the bonds is held, the investor would receive coupon payment. This coupon may be reinvested to earn interest at the rate prevalent at the time of reinvestment. Further, the investor will make a gains or loss at the time of selling bonds, depending upon whether the sales price is higher or lower than his purchase price. Adding all these three income and expressing it as a percentage of cost price would be holding per return for the investor. If an investor purchases a bond 104 year 8 rupees as a coupon, which is reinvested at 7% for a period of 1 year, and finally sell bond 110 after 1 year, then HPR would be HPR holding per return 8 plus 8 into 7% plus 110 minus 104 by 104, यानी 14% हो गया. It must be noted that HPR is single period return, does not annualize to return to the investor. Current yielding क्या है? Current yielding, this is a simple method of calculating return on debt security in which the coupon is divided with the current market price of bond and the result is expressed as percentage. This method does not take into account further cash flow coming from bond, which is the biggest drawback of their method, and hence this method is not really used widely. It can be compared to dividend yield of a stock. Suppose 8.2% GS 2008 is trading at 104. The current yielding would be 8.24 by 104. That's 0.07923 यानी 7.92%. Yielding to maturity क्या? YTM, yielding to maturity. Yielding to maturity is more comprehensive and widely used measure to return calculation of the debt security than current yielding. Yielding to maturity का ही सबसे ज़्यादा यूज होता है. This method takes into consideration all future cash flow coming from bonds coupon plus principal repayment and equates the present value of this cash follow to prevailing market price of the bond. The rate which equity present outflow price of the bond which investor needs to pay in others to purchase the bond with the present value of future inflow coupon plus principal is known as yielding time maturity. Thus, it can understood the internal rate of return the bond yielding to maturity can be calculated trial and error method by the plugging in different rates in the equation and arriving at the one that equity the market price of the bond to the present value of expected cash flow from the bond. It can also calculate using XIR function in Excel. The calculations are shown below. HDFC 9.70 2017 bond issue on 19 July 2007 maturity 19 July 2017 यानी 10 ईयर का आपका bond है with the annual payment interest assuming the bond trading 100T on 1 November 2014. देख सकते हैं गाइस 1 नवंबर 2014 को 103 का कैश फ्लो था माइनस में। वही 19 जुलाई 15 को 9.7%, 19 जुलाई 16 को 9.7 एंड 19 जुलाई 17 को 109.010। तो टोटल हो गया यील्डिंग टाइम मनी 9.6%. ITM through the better than current yielding. Then the also widely used has its own shortcoming. First, it assumes that the investor will hold till maturity, which may not be less than case. Second, it assumes that coupon received periodically reinvested for the remaining tenure of the bond at the same rate throughout the tenure. This assumption implies that interest would remain same for the entire tenure, that the rate would also be same across tenure, which means the yielding curve would be static and flat. This assumption takes yielding time money away from being practical. However, yielding time money has one advantage, biggest of which being that it is simple quick computation, hence it is widely used. तो करेंट yielding से राइट yielding टाइम मनी ज़्यादा यूज होता है। Duration क्या है? Duration measure the sensitivity of the principal price of a bond to change interest rate. Bond with high duration experiencing greater increase value when interest rate decline, greater loss in value when rate increase compared to bond with the lower duration. Duration is the weighted average maturity of the bond, where the present value of the future cash flow are used as weighted duration, thus incorporate the tenure. Coupon yielding is calculation. Higher the time to maturity, higher the duration, and hence higher the interest rates raised to the bond. Lower coupon rate, higher the duration, hence higher the interest rate risk of the bond, and lower yield, higher the duration, hence higher the interest rate risk of the bond. The duration is a very convenient interest rate risk measure for the bond. Higher the duration, higher sensitivity of the bond price by the interest rate. The duration of the bond is not a static number, but will change with the change in the tenure and yielding of bond. As a bond comes closer to maturity, its duration also decreases and makes the bond less risky. Types of bonds as defined in the previous section. Bonds are securities which represent a loan. For a loan to be completely defined, the loan amount, time for which the loan is taken, and the rate at which it is taken must be known. These three are known as principal, maturity, coupon respectively in bond. Each of these features can be modified to construct various types of bonds. Bonds are also classified based on the types of issuer and its credit worth. Given below are some of the commonly found types of bond. Zero coupon bond क्या है? Bonds which do not pay coupon in their entire term, known as zero coupon bond or simply zeros. Such as bonds are issued at a discount to their face value and are redeemed at par. Thus, the return on this bond is not in the form of periodic payment of interest, but in the form of difference between the issue price and redemption value. While in rupees term, return may be same as investor inherent zero carry more interest rate risk due to their higher duration than coupon paying bond the same maturity. Such as bonds are issued by the issuer to manage their cash flow as there no interest strain during the life of the bond, making periodic coupon payment. Cash remain within the company and can be into business with a slightly longer term horizon. Repayment of their loan would be one shot as a bullet payment at the maturity of the bond. Treasury bond T-bill issued by the Government of India, commercial paper issued by the corporate, and certificate depository series issued by the bank and financial institution are example for short-term zero coupon bond. These papers are less than 1 year maturity, hence are known as a money market instrument. Money market is a segment of debt market in which papers of less than 1 year are issued and trade. JCB for very long tenure are issued A steep discount of their face value, such as ZCB, are known as the deep discount bond. IDBI has issued such bond year back. The Kisan Vikas Patra is another example of this discount bond. Example zero coupon bond का example है in October 2019, 9 ETHL Communication Holding as a SR Group company raised 4280 crore through the issue of zero coupon bond. The bonds were launched two separate series of the slightly different issue ETHL Communication Holdings equity zero coupon bond in 2019 में शुरू किया गया था. मैच्योरिटी देख सकते हैं सीरीज 1 जुलाई 2011, सीरीज 2 दिसंबर 11, मैच्योरिटी वैल्यू 100. इशू प्राइस देख सकते हैं सीरीज 1 में 85.80 था, रेट 9.15 एंड सीरीज 2 82.55, रेट 9.25 था. फ्लोटिंग रेट बॉन्ड क्या है? These are the bond which coupon is not fixed, as in the case of vanilla bond, but reset periodically with reference to the defined benchmark. This could be inflation index or interbank rate or call rate, some other relevant benchmark. Resting the coupon periodically ensure that these bonds pay interest that reflect current market rate. Due to their unique nature of the constant adjustment of coupon rate, these bonds carry lower in interest rate or price risk. Such bonds are especially useful in a rising interest rate scenario as they continuously keep tracking the interest rate prevalent in the market, adjust their coupon periodically, typically every 6 months. In some cases, this maximum and minimum limit to the coupon rate in floating rate bond, and these limits are respectively referred as cap and floor. Housing loan with a variable of floating interest rate are example of these types of loan. Developed market also have bonds whose coupon move inversely to the benchmark. These are known as inverse floater. Convertible bond क्या है guys? A convertible bonds or debenture is generally issued as a debt instrument with the option to the investor to convert their amount invested into equity of the issued company later. This security has feature of the both debt and equity. The issuer specifies the details of the conversion at the time of making the issue itself. This will include date on the before which conversion may be made, ratio of conversion, the number of shares that investor will be eligible to get each debenture, the price at which share will be allotted to the investor of conversion. Usually this is at a discount to the market price. Proportion of the debenture that will converted into equity share. These bonds could be convertible, either compulsory called compulsory convertible bond or optionally called optionally convertible bond. Also, these bonds could be fully convertible where the entire face value of the bond is converted into equity. Shares are partially convertible where a portion of the bond is converted into equity. In partially convertible debenture, non-convertible portion continuing to remain bond. Young's interest income gets repaid on the redemption. On conversion of debt into equity, debt is removed from the balance sheet and equity capital is increased. This dilutes earning per share of the stocks. The advantage of the issuer of a convertible bond lie in the fact of the convertible bond usually have a lower coupon rate than pure debt instrument. This because yielding to the investor in such bonds is not from the coupon alone, but also possibility of capital appreciation in the investment once they are converted into equity. Moreover, the issuer does not have to repay debt on maturity since shares are issued in lieu repayment. The disadvantage of these debts of the existing shareholders get diluted when the fresh shares are issued on the conversion as more shareholders come in. Proportionate holding of the existing shareholder fall. The investor in convertible bonds have the advantage of equity and debt feature. They earn coupon income in the initial stage, usually when the company projects is in nascent stage, and once bond is converted into shares, they may be benefit from appreciation in the value of the shares. प्रिंसिपल प्रोटेक्टेड नोट। प्रिंसिपल प्रोटेक्टेड नोट में a relevant complex debt product which aims to providing protection of the principal amount invested by the investor. If the investment is held to maturity, typically a portion of the amount is invested is debt such a way that it matures to principal amount on expiring of the term of the note. The remaining portion of the original investment is invested in equity, derivative, commodity, and other products which have the potential of generating high return. Although this is marked as a debt paper, as it has features similar to fixed income security, it is a synthetic product constructed by the financial engineering combination of the debt and derivative structure. Risk-averse investors get an opportunity to invest products with possibility of high return, while at the same time their downside is protected in PPNs. It must be clearly understood that the principle of protection does not mean absence of credit risk. Investors in PPNs are exposed to the credit risk of issuer. Several non-banking finance companies have issued PPNs titled equity-linked bond or commodity-linked bond, and this passed to raise capital. Some of these structured instruments are listed on a stock exchange. Inflation protected securities क्या आएगा इसमें देखते हैं. Debt instruments, being fixed income products, run the risk of delivering negative real return during the high inflation period. At the time the investor of the debt paper are retired old persons who do not have other source of income. For such case it becomes extremely important to have return beating inflation. Inflation index bonds are the category of government security issued by the RBI which provide inflation protected return to the investor. In India, inflation index bonds have been launched in which both principal and interest are adjusted for the inflation. These bonds have fixed real coupon rate which is applied to the inflation-adjusted principal on each interest payment date on maturity. The higher the face value or inflation-adjusted principal is paid out of the investor. Thus, the coupon income as well as the principal is adjusted for inflation. The inflation adjustment to the principal is done by the multiplying it with the index ratio. The index ratio is calculated by the dividing the reference index on the settlement date by the reference index on the date of the issue of security. The wholesale price index is the inflation measure that considered for the calculation of the index ratio for these bonds. Another category of inflation index instrument issued by the RBI for retail investors is the inflation index national savings security cumulative 2013. These bonds of 10-year tenure were available to retail resident individual, minor HUFs and charity among others. The bond carries fixed interest of 1.5% and inflation rate calculated on the basis of consumer price index. The interest is compounded every 6 months and computed the same is payable with the principal on the maturity. A fixed rate of interest is their floor if payable even if there is deflation. The interest is taxable according to tax slabs of the investor. Foreign currency bond क्या है? Foreign currency bond are bond issued by the company in a currency that different from the currency of the home country. Company in emerging market may prefer to issue bond in USD or currency of the other economically mature country as they carry significantly lower interest rate. However, these bonds create significant foreign currency risk to issuer. In case foreign currency, the currency of the issue of the bond appreciate against the local currency, the issuer will need higher amount of the local currency to repay the loan. Hedging the foreign currency risk through the derivative contract may remove or reduce benefit of the interest rate differential. For example, in February 2020, Delhi International Airport Limited (SPV) of GMR Infrastructure issued USD bond. External bond क्या है? External bond. External bond also refers to euro bonds are bonds issued in the currency that different from the currency of the country in which issue. For example, if a company issue a US dollar denominated bonds is quite, it would be refers to the euro bond as the country of the bond USD in the different from the currency of the country in which issue Kuwait dinar. Externally bond denominated Indian rupees refers to masala bond. These bonds are issued outside of the India but denominated in Indian rupees. Masala bond were the issue of the first time in the November 2014 International Financial Corporation and were listed in the London Stock Exchange and against foreign currency bond which create currency risk of their issue. In the case of masala bond, currency risk is borne by the investor since the bonds are denominated in INR. If INR depreciates against currency of the country of issue, the amount received by the investor will be lesser than the local currency. Perpetual bond क्या है? Perpetual bond guys. Perpetual bonds are bonds which do not have the stated maturity date. Thus, the issuer of the perpetual bond does not have any obligation to redeem it. The investors are entitled to periodic coupon. These bonds can be bought back or called if the bonds are issued as a callable bond by the issuer at their discretion. Several banks in India have issued perpetual bonds to raise additional Tier 1 capital as per the Basel Norm 3. The norm specific various criteria that the perpetual bond should meet in order to qualify as a AT1 capital. This increases the risk of AT1 perpetual bond compared to the normal bond. The some key of difference between the AT1 perpetual bond compared to the normal bond क्या क्या अंतर है ये देख सकते हैं. AT1 perpetual bonds do not have fixed maturity date. They are subordinate to deposit loan from the other bank. All other bonds, this coupon can be paid only from distributable profit. If the issuer does not have distributable profit, they cannot be paid coupon. The coupon is non-cumulative. The bonds can be converted into equity by the issuer open happening for a pre-specified contingent event. तो गाइस एक खत्म हो गया. अब इसमें कुछ क्वेश्चन बचा है जिसमें देखते हैं. A bond issue at the face value 100 and coupon 10% per annum. The interest rate in the market have increased substantially. This bond is likely to be quoted at the price or the value at the face value, at the price at the reflect of the credit risk, and at the price below face value. तो बिलो फेस वैल्यू देख सकते हैं गाइस. बिलो फेस वैल्यू कब होगा? जब 10% पर एनुअल के हिसाब से आपका फेस वैल्यू बढ़ता जाएगा. अगर फेस वैल्यू बढ़ रहा है तो प्राइस बिलो फेस वैल्यू होगा. देख सकते हैं. इंटरेस्ट रेट इन द मार्केट है इंक्रीज. इंटरेस्ट अगर इंक्रीज होगा तो फेस वैल्यू बिलो होगा. The equity share is discontinued value in the future benefit of the investor. Intrinsic value. Intrinsic value equity share discontinued for the future investor. Calculation of the enterprise value based on the given information. Market capitalization 10 lakh and total debt 3 lakh and cash 4 lakh. तो देख सकते हैं टोटल हो गया गाइस. तो टोटल डेट 3 लाख है, कैश 4 लाख है. तो मार्केट कैपिटल 10 लाख और टोटल डेट 3 लाख. 10 में 13 माइनस 4 तो हो गया 9. कैश माइनस हो जाता है. बॉन्ड्स which have immediate call option in the known as callable bond that is whether true or false true. तो गाइस ये चैप्टर खत्म हो गया. अब हम नेक्स्ट लेक्चर में चैप्टर नंबर 4 अब देखते हैं. तो थैंक यू गाइस. लेटेस्ट वीडियो इन्फॉर्मेशन के लिए इसी तरह चैनल से जुड़े रहें और आपको हम रिसर्च एनालिस्ट की कोर्स आपको बारी बारी से बताते रहेंगे. थैंक यू.